Hello? Well, welcome. I'm so glad you've joined me here today. I want to take you on a gentle journey, a stroll through the corridors of time. We won't be going far, just to explore a name. It is a long name, a beautiful name, one that echoes with the weight of centuries. This is the name of Isabella of Castile, a queen who reigned from the year 1474 until her passing in 1504. Her life, much like her extensive list of titles, speaks to us of kingdoms forged, daring voyages across uncharted seas, dreams that reshaped the known world. Her name is more than a mere identifier. It is a map of her era. The story we shall uncover is not one of battles or grand political maneuvers in the traditional sense. Isabella held a multitude of titles, a collection that grew and evolved throughout her life's journey. Each one represents a piece of her history, a window into a different facet of her reign. They were not merely words, but declarations of sovereignty, laden with the weight of history and the promise of the future. Presented as a litany, a hypnotic chant of power. Queen of Castile, her birthright, a kingdom united with Leon, which she ruled as undisputed queen. A realm of lofty plateaus and ancient castles. Queen of Aragon, a title gained through her marriage to Ferdinand II, a political and personal union that reshaped the peninsula. As his co-regent, she united two great crowns, Queen of Sicily, the vibrant Mediterranean island under the crown of Aragon, Queen of Granada, added in the monumental year 1492 following the final conquest of the Nasrid kingdom. A moment that resonated throughout Christendom and marked a new beginning. Before she was queen, she was Princess of Asturias, Lady of Biscay, connecting her with the Basque traditions and their ancient rites. Each name a stone upon the last, building a fortress of legitimacy. Beyond the individual components, there existed a much longer, more formal version of her title. This was the full traditional address, an awe-inspiring recitation, less like a legal declaration and more like an epic poem. When proclaimed in its entirety, it flowed with a majestic and powerful rhythm. Doña Isabella, by the grace of God, Queen of Castile, of Leon, of Aragon, of the two Sicilies, of Jerusalem, of Granada, of Navarre, of Toledo, of Valencia, of Galicia, of Majorca, of Seville, of Sardinia, of Córdoba, of Corsica, of Murcia, of Jaén, of the Algarves, of Algeciras, of Gibraltar. For all the magnificent length and poetic weight of her official styling, people in their daily lives didn't recite this grand litany. In the dusty streets of Valladolid, in the shipyards of Seville, and on the farms of Extremadura, she was known by a much simpler, warmer name. People spoke of her as Queen Isabella. Queen Isabella. It was a name that felt close, a name that could easily roll off the tongue, a name to be uttered in conversation, in prayer, or in a shout of jubilation as her procession passed by. This simple address bridged the immense gap between sovereign and subject, transforming a symbol of ultimate power into a human figure. This duality is quite fascinating. On the one hand, you have this immense list of titles, almost divine. On the other, you have the straightforward, affectionate simplicity of Queen Isabella. It reveals the beautiful paradox of her reign. She was both an institution and an individual, a distant monarch and a present ruler. Imagine, for a final moment, that scribe at his desk, the scent of ink and melted wax filling the air. He dips his quill once more, his hand moving in a familiar practice motion as he writes the Queen's full name once again. Imagine the great cathedral bell tolling, calling the powerful to witness a signing. Imagine the town crier, his voice booming across a crowded square, the long list of names falling like a shower of authority upon the people. Today, when we think of Isabella, we often think of her as the Catholic Queen. This was an honorary title bestowed upon her and Ferdinand by Pope Alexander VI, a recognition of their defense of the faith, their completion of the Reconquista, and their vision for a unified Catholic Spain. And then there is the simple, enduring way her people chose to remember her. Queen Isabella. Thank you for joining me on this brief yet profound journey into a long and powerful name. Thank you for taking the time to read and listen. If this story moved you, please subscribe. And do give this a like. Thank you for your time and attention. Until we meet again.